So hello, this is Vernissage TV and I'd like to introduce Max Lemp, one of the selected designers of this year's Design Basel Art Fair. And I'm very happy to make this interview with Max Lemp. Let me introduce that there has been a short briefing to the 4 designers who has been selected, and the briefing was to create an object which is either or both with concrete and wool. And maybe Max, can you tell us something about your project?
Okay, so with the brief, I began, as I always begin with projects, which is really to research. And I began to research the 2 materials, the different variations, the forms that it's available in, and to see whether I could actually make my own type of concrete or my own type of wool. And I realized that there's so many different variations of the materials out there already that I found it much more interesting to try and reinterpret one of the existing materials, or find the material in a form which I could interact with or engage with on a bit more kind of an experimental level. So I've actually chosen 2 very industrial materials, or industrial forms of the 2 materials. Building blocks, which are used to build the house. It's a particular type of concrete called autoclaved aerated concrete, or béton cellulaire in French. It's foamed concrete. And it's produced in square building blocks, which are very light to handle. They can be quite large sizes, which is quite unique for concrete because it's such a dense and heavy material that normally your kind of concrete blocks are very small. But because this is foamed, they're available in much larger sizes, which means I've been able to use just 1 block per piece of furniture. And because of its structure, it's quite soft. So I can actually, well, not soft, but it can be machined quite easily compared to normal concrete, which once it's cast, that's it, it's just 1 solid block. So I was able to actually mount it onto a lathe and actually turn them using traditional woodworking tools, and it's a very kind of old-fashioned process, but using a very different material, and that's how I get these different rotational forms, all with a central axis. So the title of my 2 projects actually is called Solids of Revolution, which is a mathematical and engineering expression which describes kind of a solid object created by rotating a plane or a 2-dimensional shape around an axis, and that's how both of these have been produced. So we've got the concrete stools, which are, each one is unique. I've made 18 of them because when I bought the pallet of blocks, I received a pallet of 18. So I just thought it was logical to use the whole pallet. I actually bought 2 pallets and made some experiments first, and then just decided to limit the number to 18. And it wasn't interesting for me to produce 18 of the same objects. It's also almost impossible because of the handmade nature of them. So I decided to really kind of go for it and make a number of different variations. And each one wasn't really predetermined. For me, the beauty was, as I began to learn about the material, learn about my abilities on a woodworking lathe, just to evolve the design of the stools. So each one is sort of a consequence of the predecessor, the one before it.
Can you say this was the first one?
This is the first one. This is the first one. The second one is actually this one. And then the third one, I mixed and matched, because as I started to do things, I had an idea for a future one, but I didn't know exactly. I didn't know exactly how it was going to turn out, and so as I started to make it, I then. There's a process, you just slowly take off more and more material. So there was an intermediate stage where I thought, oh, that's good, I'm going to do that for the next one, even though it doesn't necessarily resemble the one before it. I can't remember which was the last one that I did. I was very tired at that stage.
It looked like an installation from sitting objects and other objects which you can use as standing objects, where you put something on top, a fetish or a special thing, a telephone.
I don't like to predetermine what my object should be used for. I mean, these are fairly ambiguous, really. I mean, they don't have a backrest, so they're not obviously to sit on, but they're the height. They're a suitable height, you know, for sitting on. They're 42 centimeters, which is a fairly average sitting height. The diameter, the size is perfect for sitting on. And again, that language came about through just the discovery of that material. You know, these building blocks are 32 centimeters by 32 centimeters by 62 centimeters high, and once mounted on the lathe and you carve them, you cut off the two outer sections, and you have something which is 42 centimeters. So there's all down to the research, really, of that material, and the material really kind of determined what I made. You know, okay, if it was available in much larger blocks, then maybe I would have produced a table, but actually I've produced stools. You know, they're perfect for sitting on. But yes, they can also be used as side tables. You know,
or if part of a table.
Or part of a table, exactly. Put a surface between two, and you have a bench. I mean, I don't like to be too precise, or people misuse everything. You know, if you have a chair, people will stand on it to change a light bulb, or people use things as they wish.
And you have a special connection to Switzerland. You said you started briefly
yes.
At a school at the ECCAL?
Yeah, at ECCAL, École Cantonale d'Art de Lausanne, which I began teaching at in February, actually. And it's just for one semester. And I was actually invited to teach a group of first and second year students, and specifically for a project to be exhibited here in Basel at Design Miami. So we have the exhibition over here in the background, so we're very closely related. And so I was invited by Pierre Keller, who's actually the director of the school, and he's standing over there in the blue shirt. And we were working in close collaboration with a glassblower from Bern called Matteo Gonne. Fantastic young glass blower. He's been blowing glass since he was like 15 years old. And he's still very young, but spectacular skill. And it's been a very nice experience, I think, for me to work with so closely with the students and an industry, but a craft industry, but also with a group of students and kind of getting them directly involved in the process, which is very much a way that I work. You know, I always get involved with the industry or the material or the process, and I think usually in educational situations, it's often directed. This is material, this is what you do, and this is a video of how it might be done, or this is what's usually made in industry, but not really to kind of begin the interaction or the engagement between student and industry. And also this place, being able to exhibit the work, which is such an important aspect of design. You have to have presence, you have to have profile. And for the students to have this opportunity at the age of 20 or 21 or 22 to be here at Design Miami Basel and to be exhibiting at this kind of global forum, really, really fantastic. So it's.
So you regard this prize as something special, that you have been selected here with the Design Basel fair. I mean, you are quite successful already, so it's.
Well, I don't know how. It depends how you quantify success. I don't know. Maybe again, profile success, but financial success, no. So I have some attention in the media, but then when it comes down to actually earning a living from design, it's not quite so clear, not so easy. So that's when actually becoming part of a educational establishment and actually earning a salary and working directly with all these people, it's not only a little bit of financial stability, but it's also a fantastic opportunity and a real kind of the number of people that I've met and the doors that have been opened through working with the school, the other tutors, and the ECCAL is really unique. They employ practicing professional designers to be on the design team, so it's a great place for students to study because they're actually already engaging with and interacting with professional designers. Whereas I remember from my undergraduate degree, I was being taught by would-be designers, but people who were full-time professors and had no real presence in the professional design world. So they run a number of workshops where they're inviting professional designers, famous professional designers from all over the world, and they do one-week workshops twice a year with each of the year groups. I mean, it's very fantastic.
So thank you very much,
Max
Lem, for this introduction of your work, and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.